anyị amapụkwacha na nzu n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke nzu eke ka anyị mapụrụ wee na-asị na anyị ọchị ka anyị na-achọ ka anyị wapụ n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke wee na-asịkwa Chukwu okike abịa ma okike kele ụwa gbasịbe n'igwe nwanne otu onye na ya jibe n'aka abụọ ji nke nwe gị kọrọ ọjị a wee sa were akwụkwọ egwu na-agabịa na mmezu wee na-asịkwa anyanwụ ụtụtụ nke na-awala Igbo nke na-awala ọjị nke na-awala Igbo nke na-awala olu wakela anyị na-eke wakela anyị n'oge wakela anyị n'afọ wakela anyị na nkwụ dị na ọnọdụ dancing song wey love and challenge enu were ọjị ana were ọjị mbụ were ọjị agide were ọjị ndị ichie na ndị ọzọ na ndị kwuru eziokwu ka nka ndị nwere ọgụ Biafra 1967-1970 our fathers, our mothers, our brothers, our sisters, our cousins, our nephews, our friends. Ndị nwere ọgụ Biafra 1967 so unu bịa were ọjị ya n'ogbe ka anyị weta ya n'ibe ka unu bịa were ọjị n'ogbe taa ka anyị wetakwa n'ibe ka unu gbabara ya osiarị na be ndị mmụọ ka gbabara na osiarị na be ndị mmadụ ndị na Chukwu ngị na ihe Naịjirịa na ozi were enu were ọjị ana were ọjị mbụ na egede ndị ichie na ndị ọzọ ka unu were ọjị ya kwukwere na nzu ka anyị na-ekwu n'ọjị n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke kere ya na-ekwu okwu ya bụ ndụ anyị na-eke ndụ anyị n'orie ndụ anyị na-afọ ndụ anyị na nkwọ eke ketara anyị ọma ka o rere tara anyị ọma ka afụfụ tara anyị ọma ka nkwọ kwụtara anyị ọma ahịa naanị izu na nọ nke ndị Igbo ji eme ihe na ndị Igbo Chukwu okike abịa ma nga onwe gị mara ya were asị na ya na-ekwu na eke ka anyị na-ekwu n'orie ya na-ekwu n'ode ka anyị na-ekwu n'afọ ya na-ekwu n'afọ ka anyị na-ekwu na nkwọ ka anyị na-ekwu na nkwọ ka anyị na-ekwu n'ụtụtụ ka anyị na-ekwu n'ụtụtụ ka anyị na-ekwu n'ehihie ka anyị na-ekwukwo n'ehihie ka anyị na-ekwu n'anyasị bụ ya anyị na-ekwu gwa bụ Biafra ka anyị na-ekwu na eke ka Biafra ka anyị na-ekwu n'owe na-asị Chukwu okike abịa ma dododo onye ndụ anyị bụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu dubịa na eke dubịa na ode dubịa na afọ dubịa na nkwọ dubịa na ụtụtụ dubịa na ehihie dubịa na anyasị dubịa na mazi adịghị n'aka ihe oriri ya ṅụrịgị n'aka bụ ụzọ ma bịara azụ kpuchite aka ọkụkọ si ekpuchite ụmụ ya alapụkwara na dịrị arapụrụ bịa n'oruru ahịhịa n'ụbọchị nketa otu esi kwe ka oge si wedị n'aha Great Chukwu okike abịa ma onye anyị na-akpụ isi ala enye mgbe niile aha na-asị dododo ụmụnne m ụmụ Biafra eke ketara na ihe ọma ka o rewe rotere na ihe ọma ka afọ wefọtara na ihe ọma ka ndụ anyị na-eke ndụ anyị n'orie ndụ anyị na-afọ ndụ anyị na nkwọ n'aha anyị wee na-akpọku Chukwu okike abịa ma okike kele ụwa gbasịrị n'igwe nwanne otu onye aṅụrụ ndụ kwere kwa mee ya ụgwọ narị atụ egwu agbakwuru ezuru ike onye ike niile dị n'ọba aka ya Adonai ancient of days Elohim of our forefathers, Elohim of our ancestors, El Shaddai, Hashem, Most High God, Chukwu okike abịa ma we committed our leader n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke anyị na-asị n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke n'isi onye ndu anyị bụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, the Yeshua of our time, the Irokotri of our time, Ọhamadike one ọnụ na-ekwuru Igbo niile ọnụ na-ekwuru Biafra niile wee na-asị n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke na naba anyị ndụ ya na-eke ndụ ya n'orie ndụ ya n'afọ ndụ ya na nkwọ ndụ ya n'ụtụtụ ndụ ya n'ehihie ndụ ya n'anyasị ngị na Chukwu ngị na ana ngị na ihe Naịjirịa na ozi ngị na ihe ana na-ejere ozi wee na-asịkwa Chukwu abịa ma dododo nakwa nwanne anyị nwoke bụkwa our prime minister Biafra government in exile Autopilot Maazị Simon Ekpa wee na-asị Chukwu okike abịa ma n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke na n'Igbo niile mmụọ eke ngị bụ ihe ihe ọmasị na ihe ga-eri aka mmụọ orie ngị bụ mmiri ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ ndụ agha bụ ndụ mmiri iji agha bụ ije mmiri mmụọ afọ ngị bụ ana ya echekọta ya na eke chekọta ya n'orie chekọta ya na afọ chekọta ya na nkwọ mmụọ nkwọ ngị bụ ikuku na ihe ọmasị na ikuku ga-eri aka na ndụ ya ga-adị na eke na ndụ ya ga-adị n'orie na ndụ ya ga-adị na afọ na ndụ ya ga-adị na nkwọ eje anaghị abụrụ isi ije wee na-asịkwa Chukwu okike abịa ma okike kele ụwa na ọ ga-adị ka echi na echi adị agwụ agwụ n'osisi pụtara ife dị bụ ụgbọ na ojiri egbuo ha Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ojiri egbu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ojiri egbu Simon Ekpa m ga-egbu onwe ya ọ ga-eti isi ya ngị na Chukwu ngị na ana ngị na ihe Naịjirịa na ozi ngị na-agwụ nsị ọha mehie ngị na ndị mbụ ndị egede ndị ichie ndị ọzọ ndị kwuru eziokwu ka nka Chukwu debere ọkọrọfọ ọkọrọ nkwọ họwa ma ha nwaweza ọnọ n'ihu ndị nkọ ha duru mgboke duru zom iwu duru obi nwụba anụ ụmụ dura n'isi eke otu a si kwu ya ka o ga-esi anụ ọkịja niile otu a si kwu ya ka o ga-esi wede n'aha Great Chukwu okike abịa ma onye anyị na-akpụ isi ala enye mgbe niile a na-agwọ ọ na-ere nke emere ju oyi eme ọzọ isi emeghị ọṅụra anụ n'ebe ya wee na-asịkwa Chukwu okike abịa ma n'isi mụ IPOB indigenous people of Biafra the genuine ones indeed working as seriously to make sure that Biafra is restored in Biafra land. Eze Chukwu okike abịa ma also the principal officers of Biafra government in exile Autopilot Keke ketara na ihe ọma ka o rerotara na ihe ọma ka fụfụtara na ihe ọma ka kwụpụtara na ihe ọma ndụ anyị na-eke ndụ anyị n'orie ndụ anyị na-afọ ndụ anyị na nkwọ gị na Chukwu gị na gị na-enye Naịjirịa na ozi gị na-enye Naịjirịa ụra asọ okike ozi Chukwu okike abịa ma okike gara ụwa gbasị dị n'igbe onye ezekwa the angel Chukwu okike abịa ma also guide us and protect us till Biafra is restored in Biafra land. Anywhere we are going Chukwu okike abịa ma n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke mmụọ eke ndị ibi ihe ihe masịrị ihe bịa ga-eru anyị aka mmụọ orie gị bụ mmiri ihe masị na mmiri ga-eru anyị aka mmụọ afọ gị bụ ana ihe masị na ana ga-eru anyị aka mmụọ nkwọ gị bụ ikuku na ihe masị na ikuku ga-eru anyị aka n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke gị na Chukwu gị na gị na-enye Naịjirịa na ozi gị na ihe na Naịjirịa ozi gị na-agwụ nsị ọha mee onye ọbụla mama aka nzu na aka nzu dị mma na we are whiter than snow na nzu enwe ntụpọ na Igbo na nzu bụ omenala Igbo niile na nzu bụ izizi a na-enye mmadụ na mmadụ bịa ebe mmadụ na ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu n'ụbọchị nke taa Chukwu okike abịa ma na-ekwu ya na-ekwu okwu bụ Biafra ka anyị na-ekwu okwu bụ nwoke ọ bụ nwaanyị ọ bụ ndị onye ọbụla wherever they are planning evil against the total restoration of the kingdom of Chukwu okike abịa ma na Asolo government house of assembly, house of senate, house of rep, local government chairman, council chief, community leaders, wherever they are planning evil against the children of the Most High, against Biafra restoration, against our leader, also against the prime minister of Biafra government in Nigeria, our brother Mazi Simon Ekpa. When I say the Chukwu okike abịa ma okwu ọjọọ dị nke kwuru gọvanọ ahụ wekwa n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke n'oge jiri aha ozo kpasa ụkpasa na eke ozu akpọsa ụkpasa na orie ụkpasa ụkpasa na afọ ụkpasa ụkpasa na nkwọ n'ụbọchị ndụ ha niile oge chiri ha azụ ihe niile bụ ihe ọjọọ kwuru n'isi anyị ọ bụ izinu na nke a gbara n'isi anyị when I say the Chukwu okike abịa ma any evil plans of enemy in our land, in our Biafra restoration, wherever they are in planning against the total restoration of the kingdom of Chukwu okike abịa ma in this planet earth, in our soul of government house, house of representative, house of assembly, house of senate, house of rep, local government chairman, council chief, community leaders, traditional leaders, wherever they are in their planet earth, in the four corners of this planet earth, in their marine kingdom, in their Owonu kingdom, in their Ekanka kingdom, planning evil against the total restoration of the kingdom of Chukwu okike abịa ma let their evil plan turn against their in Eke ngina Chukwu ngina in Orie ngina Chukwu ngina in Afọ ngina Chukwu ngina n'ụtụtụ the evil plans of enemy will go back to them in the mighty name of great Chukwu okike abịa ma a na-agwọ ọ na-ele okike abịa ma n'aha great Chukwu okike abịa ma when I say n'ụbọchị nke taa ka anyị na-ekwukwu okwu ya the land of the rising sun ga-enwe love and challenge anyanwụ ụtụtụ ka anyị na-akpọlite the land of the rising sun will love and challenge the land of the rising sun will love and challenge ha eke Chukwu okike abịa ma anyanwụ ụtụtụ nke na-awara Igbo nke na-awara ọrụ wakele anyị na-eke wakele anyị n'orie wakele anyị n'afọ wakele anyị na nkwọ wakele anyị n'ụtụtụ wakele anyị na-ehihie wakele anyị n'anyasụ anyị ga-abụ ka ihe na ya na-ekwu okwu ebe na anyị ga-adị ka Chineke adị agwa na osisi pụtara ife adịghị ekpe ụgbọdọ anyị apụtaghị ife na ya apụtago na ya echighakwa azụ nakwa ya na-ekwu okwu abụ Biafra eke ketara anyị Biafra ka o rerotara anyị Biafra ka fụfụtara anyị Biafra ka nkwụkwọtara anyị Biafra nke na Chukwu nke na ana anyị sị na Biafra aka abịa na onye ga-atụ isi ya na eke onwe isi na eke tụ isi ya na orie onwe isi na orie tụ isi ya na afọ onwe isi na afọ tụ isi ya na nkwọ onwe isi na nkwọ onye asị Chukwu okike abịa ma okike ekele ụwa gbasị bi n'igwe nwanne otu onye aṅụlụ ndụ kwere nkwa mee ya ụgwọ narị atụ egwu agbakwuru ezu n'ike onye asị nekwa nwanne anyị nwoke a bụ Biafra United Channel Television n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke dubia na eke dubia na orie dubia na afọ dubia na nkwọ dubia na ụtụtụ dubia na ehihie dubia na anyasị ọpụpịa na mbatị ya dị gị n'aka ihe oriri ya ahụ dị gị n'aka Chukwu okike abịa ma buru ụzọ ma kpegharịa azụ kpuchite ya ka ọkụkọ si ekpuchite ụmụ ya arapụkwana ya erapụ bịa n'oruru anya n'aha great Chukwu okike abịa onye asịkwa n'ụbọchị nke taa the land of the rising sun will love and cherish Chukwu okike abịa ma okike ekele ụwa gbasị bi n'igwe anyanwụ ụtụtụ nke na-awara Igbo nke na-awara olu wakele anyị na eke wakele anyị n'orie wakele anyị n'afọ wakele anyị na nkwọ wakele anyị n'ụtụtụ wakele anyị n'ehihie wakele anyị n'anyasị pụpụ anyị na mbata anyị the land of the rising sun will love and cherish anyanwụ ụtụtụ n'ụbọchị nke taa ka anyị na-ekwukwe n'isi ya kewakerịa na eke wakerịa n'orie wakerịa n'afọ n'ekwu ụmụ IPOB n'isi ụmụ Biafra niile wakele anyị na eke wakele anyị n'orie wakele anyị n'afọ wakele anyị na nkwọ wakele anyị n'ụtụtụ wakele anyị n'ehihie wakele anyị n'anyasị pụpụ anyị na mbata anyị dị gị n'aka ya eri ya ya dị gị n'aka buru azụ ma kpere ya azụ Chukwu okike abịa ma n'isi nwanne anyị nwoke bụ Biafra United Channel otu anyị si wekwu ya n'isi ya ka ọ ga-esite n'isi ụmụ Biafra niile n'isi ụmụ IPOB niile n'isi indigenous people of Biafra niile n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke otu anyị si kwu ya ka ọ ga-esi wee dị n'aha great Chukwu okike abịa ma onye anyị na-akpụ isi ala enye mgbe niile a na-agwọ ọ na-ere nke e mere jụọ oyi emekwa ọzọ
Sabotage, you are way back away, no thing. Makanawa Panaka, Madu, you have to do Penanya. Let one million. Ogesi Makasuna, Ogatika by your life. You got the entire story. Ndigbo to innocent. Agwawati Matano di. Eburisi yana tesu. Jiri ebibu makwese. Makano panu boko. Opa tichiria. Abona boson yamu. Ona ikuchikona kana. Asi maburo kuno male. Ya buru mi yaru. Namogara pala namu. Surrounding bozo. Wabado maketo. Money is not everything. Let's fight for our freedom. For our freedom is right. Papa Mubaram see. Nabia Frabalamu. Iyabuna Niminu. Kambu Paraya no. Makano Jife Matamu Yakaye. Akalobe Ilo Nesia. Oye Ufe Muparanifea. Nkabu Paruko. Dear friend is my life. Dear friend, how we must go back to our land. Can you get your one to go to bed? Ogonyega Baramu, if I would get married 4 years ago. Gonna jump in there, Ogo no Dirapuri, Kahana. Mano, yes, no, Baba, Nalibu. West in not your one here. Yabito Solo, Gausala, Gausa, Kano was a Roman neighbor. Makanobu, no Gausa, as a good governor is. Not at the Tapandia was of woman.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Depending on your time zone, my wonderful people of the Afro lovers of freedom, you're welcome to this very live presentation. Please let me know in the comment section if my voice is clear. Let me know in the comment section if you can hear me loud and clear before we proceed. Very, very important. Because I've already got some network issues before this very live presentation. You all are highly welcome to this very live presentation. Today's date is 7th of September 2025. It is complete 1 week now. Complete 1 week, 7 days interval after the shocking news that came from Finland concerning the conviction of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Therefore, it has been very, very imperative that I come this evening to talk to our people. Because it is the right thing to do. And what happened has happened. So we are going to ask ourselves a very important and simple question. This evening, I'm not going to play anything on the screen. I'm not going to show anything. I only come here to talk to us. Let us have one-on-one conversation and rub minds together. Since that very news on Monday,
I have been away and finding it very, very difficult to even open my computer. I have been finding it very, very difficult to open my computer, not to talk of talking to my people. I have been finding it so difficult to speak, not because of the shock or because of what happened exactly. It is simply because of the sabotage. The sabotage that we are facing in the struggle and in our land generally. As Ndigbo, the time has come for us to talk to ourselves and tell ourselves the honest truth without missing word. We'll talk to us and tell us the because of sabotage. That is the reason why, and that is the reason why we are where we are today. Just because of self-hate. Today, we're going to be talking about what happened to our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. We already know what happened to him. We're not going to be reading, the judgment or whatever that they did in Finland, which is sacrilege. Finnish authority has proven beyond every reasonable doubt that rule of law does not exist. Democracy does not exist in Europe. It does not exist. As long as Europe is concerned, there is nothing like rule of law, although dictatorship and evil started in Europe because the likes of it is European Union destroyed Africa and destroyed South America in the olden days. The European Union gathered in Berlin to divide Africa and enslave Africa, even without our consent. And in recent years, they have been pretending to have repented. They have been pretending to be, to follow what they call democracy, which they introduced to the world. In recent years, they have been pretending that racism has become a thing of the past. But with what happened to Mazi Simon Ekpa, it is quite clear. It is quite clear that the rule of law does not exist in Europe. It is all about interest, not all about human rights. They trample upon people's rights, especially when it is not convenient to their own, economy, policy, and interest. So, with what happened to the Prime Minister of Biafra, it is quite clear that we are on our own. Biafrans are on our own. We are just on our own. We do not have any friend in Europe. Neither do we have any friend in America. Because Donald Trump was a person that we all supported so much. And the moment he won, he was declared a winner in the previous election, when in his previous, regime. We all celebrated his win in Iguacha, where it's known as Port Harcourt today. And Igbos were mawood in cold blood for celebrating Donald Trump, for celebrating the emergence of Donald Trump as American president. Biafra people were killed in Port Harcourt. And Donald Trump never said anything. I cannot deny that he didn't know, he didn't hear or know about it. He never said anything. He never reacted. He kept quiet till today. Nnamdi Kanu, that was invited to his rally back then in 2015, if I'm not mistaken, in 2015, was arrested. Was it 2015? No, I don't. So it wasn't 2015. When did Donald Trump do his? I think it was 2015 or 2015, 2016, or even 2017. Yeah, I think it was 2017, if I'm not mistaken. This same man was there, and the man that they invited to his rally was kidnapped in a foreign country, which the news is everywhere in the world. But Donald Trump never said anything. No pressure, nothing. So it is quite clear to all and sundry that we are on our own. We do not have friends in Europe. We do not have friends in America. We are not hoping or believing on anyone. Therefore, if we do not fight for our freedom, nobody will fight it for us. We are not hoping for anybody to help us, because the help will never come. Their interest is more important to the human rights. Their interest is more important than self-determination. Their interest is more important than the rule of law. That is the reason why we saw Emmanuel Macron, who claimed to be a symbol of democracy in Europe, shaking and whining and dining, shaking hands with the terror leader from Syria, who unalived millions of innocent people in Syria, turned Damascus into a desolate and chased away incumbent president and thrown democracy in Syria into being. We saw Emmanuel Macron shaking hands, laughing, hugging this same man that led the terrorists to destroy the entire Syria. We saw in a video Emmanuel Macron, who should be one of the world leaders, who should be one of those that set example for democracy, rule of law, and self-determination, whining and dining with a terror leader. That means their interest comes first before any other thing. even though Syria is not an African country. No leader in the world will say that they do not know that the Nigerian vice president, deputy president of the zoo, called Kashim Shettima, is a founder of Boko Haram, as long as Nigeria is concerned. No leader can say that he or she has not seen Kashim Shettima whining and dining of Boko Haram in his own town, in his home, in his country home, in his house. In Borno State. Yet, this same terror leader we saw on our own eyes. We saw on our own eyes a terror leader who organizes and funds terrorism in Nigeria, whining and dining with Finnish president called what's his name? Alexandra Stubb. Alexandra Stubb, whining and dining, shaking hands, laughing and smiling with a terrorist leader, a man who oppresses the poor. And Alexandra Stubb, who's supposed to be one of the leaders that shows example, that shows what democracy is all about, is busy whining and dining with a terrorist organizer. It's quite unfortunate. It's a very shameful moment, not to Biafrans, but to Europe. It's quite unfortunate. And I don't know where this world is heading when such leaders are in power. Leaders who whine and dine with terrorist organizations, leaders who whine and dine with terrorist groups, leaders who whine and who unanimously form terrorism in another man's country. I don't know where the world is going. It's quite unfortunate. Now we know why Vladimir Putin is fighting. Meanwhile, this very broadcast is not for them. But I made this I try to build a foundation based on what I want to say. Why I said those things is to remind all of us that we are all alone in this world. Why I point these things is to let Ndigbo, to tell Ndigbo that we are all alone in this world. To tell Ndigbo who are sabotaging their own, to let them know that nobody can save us. The whole world is against us. If you do not know, you better know it now, that the world is against us. It is Igbo against the world. Igbo against the world. I want you to know today that it is Igbo against the world. But the problem we are having is that after realizing that it is Igbo against the world, or the world against Igbo, then we still help our enemies to be Igbo against Igbo. Remember, the world against the Igbo. Then within that, inside that Igbo again, we still have Igbo against Igbo. Then where do we go from here? How do we survive the mess that we have found ourselves? The world against the Igbo. Then inside Igbo, you still have Igbos against Igbos. Where do This is the question that we will be deliberating this night. Where do we go from here? Since it is now Igbo against Igbo, where do we go from here? This is the problem that I've been having since on Monday till now. Igbo against Igbo. Makifiego, because of money, we have sold our conscience. We have sold our conscience for stipend. Just for stipends, we have sold our conscience. And to make the matter worse, this money is coming from our own land. There is gold in Zamfara. It is not a national cake. There is Californium in Brno. It is not a national cake. There is uranium. There is diamond in Adamawa. It is not a national cake. There is gold in the West, in Yoruba land. There is gold in what's the name of that state? In Yoruba. It is not a national cake. But the oil in Igbo land is for the whole nation. It's a national cake. So when they pull this oil from Igbo land, they will give some very greedy people very little out of this very money. They will use that money to destroy their own. How do you explain this? That an Igbo man who rose up to fight for the freedom of his own people, the same Ndigbo that he rose up to fight for, sabotaged him, sold his location, and he was kidnapped in Kenya. He was kidnapped in Kenya and renditioned to Nigeria. The same people that sold him Ndigbo have been fighting tooth and nail for him not to be released. The same Ndigbo that sold him out. The same Ndigbo that sold him do not want him to be released after 5 good years in custody. What was his crime? He came to fight for his own people. That same his own people sold him to the enemies. Another Igbo man rose up, Nwafu Igbo, and said, we are not going to end it there. Wait a minute. We are not ending it there. And he took up the mantle, started fighting, advocating for the betterment of his own people. That same his own people sold him again. His own people that he's fighting for went all the way to Finland in another man's land to witness false witnesses against him. How do you explain that the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Ojo, traveled all the way from Nigeria to Finland during the first court case of our Prime Minister. And the only people he was, he was in communication with are the same Igbo people that went to give false witnesses against an Igbo man who stood up to fight for the betterment of Ndigbo. A Yoruba man representing Nigeria traveled all to Finland, and it was Ndigbo that welcomed him in Finland. It was Ndigbo that he was in their company to the court. I'm trying, I have been processing this whole thing. Let's be truthful. Let's tell ourselves the truth here. Let's stop missing word. The time for reality is now. This is reality check. It is time for reality check. No missing word. No hiding it. Let us be truthful to ourselves. A Yoruba man traveled all the way from Abuja to Finland. Oburundi Igbo welcome ya, give him company, because they want to testify against another Igbo man on behalf of Nigeria, on behalf of Fulani, on behalf of Yoruba. Igbo men went to the court to testify against an Igbo man in a white man's land. And the crime of this Igbo man is because he said, I want my people to be free. Now, in the struggle, the same Ndigbo, who have been working with this same man who said, let my people be free. The moment they hear that this Igbo man, Mazi Simon Ekpa has been arrested, all of a sudden, within few hours, everything has changed. Everything changed. Positions, names. They began to drag who will lead, as if leading a struggle is no longer a suffering, a suffering job. It's no longer a tough job. It's no longer a risky job. It's no longer a job that will put your life in jeopardy. The way they are dragging free leadership who will rule, it makes it look as if fighting for freedom is no longer a risky job. It's no longer a sacrifice that can even take your life. They made it very open to the whole world that it's all about money. It's not all about freedom, because you cannot fight for who will lead, who will rule in a space where you don't have your own country. You are still fighting for freedom. You left what you are fighting for, concentrating on who will lead. Then you are not fighting for freedom. Because in a freedom fight, even you beg for who will lead. You beg for leaders. In a genuine freedom movement, you beg, you seek for leaders. Nobody fight for leadership, because it's not a job that you benefit from. It's not a job that you enjoy. It's not a job that you benefit from. You do not benefit anything from freedom fighting. So when you see them fighting for leadership, then there is something they are fighting for. They are not fighting for who will restore Biafra, because they all know that genuine freedom fighting movement is a risky job. You understand? And they destroyed everything. They put the lives of us in danger. I've received a lot of voice notes that made me shed tears. I've received a lot of voice notes, not just from Biafrans. Remember where I'm coming from. They put the lives of our soldiers in danger. And in few days now, I've received a lot of voice notes that made me shed tears. They do not ask themselves, what these men who have sacrificed their lives for this freedom, and they went into the bush in order to fight for this freedom. This thing that we are doing outside, how is it going to affect these young men and women who have sacrificed all they have in life, including their own lives, went into the forest to fight for the freedom of Biafra? They did not reason anything like that. They are busy fighting for who will lead. They divided everything. Everyone took their own portion, thereby putting the lives of our men in jeopardy, in danger. They built their own separate armies and abandoned the real army who have been doing the job from the time immemorial, not just from Mazi Simon Ekpa, but from the time immemorial, the very moment we had army. From time immemorial, they abandoned them. Ọkwa ndị kpọrọ onwe ha Ndigbo. They call themselves Ndigbo. Unfortunately, I don't know how we got here. Like, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? So, now, I have been telling us, if you want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you say you want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released unconditionally. You want Biafra, you want this, you want that. I've been telling you, the first thing you need to do, number one, the first thing you need to do is to pray for the immediate release of Mazi Simon Ekpa and Joko. I have been telling you this. Pray first, because I know 100% that Nigeria government and its judiciary has been buying time. All they have been doing is to buy time to see what is going to be the outcome of Mazi Simon Ekpa's case in Finland. I've been telling us this thing. Pray, do everything. If you know anything you can do it for Simon Ekpa to be released. We call for protest. We called for protest in Finland to show solidarity to our prime minister, to show Finland that yes, that thing they labeled that thing they labeled him is false, that he is not that. These people that claim that call themselves Ndigbo, who have been dragging power in a freedom fighting movement. You want to be a country, so I got it. You have not gotten a nation. You have brought in politics. All your concern is politics, leadership, who will rule. We called for protest. These people had the gods to discard the protest. They discarded the protest. They gave signal to their followers not to attend that protest. Not to attend that protest. Because they have divided the house. They gave their followers signal not to attend that protest. Ogenkere gave his followers signal. He only his body movement alone is enough for his followers to know that this protest is null and void, so long as their group is concerned. Kerafa nwanya Ngozi Orabueze told his followers pomp and plan that government does not conduct protests. We are now a nation. She said it openly that government has nothing to do with protests. Therefore, her followers disregarded that very protest and failed to attend it. In the day of that protest, we had only but few number of people, very few number of people that attended it. I don't know if we were 9, 7, or 11, which was even insult to our prime minister, which was an insult to a man at that level, to the caliber of Mazi Simon Ekpa and Joko. In the eyes of Finnish authority, you called yourself a prime minister. You said you are leading a nation. How comes these few number of people who are even less than the people that live in Finland, less than your own people? What a shame. Less than your people who live here in Finland. Not even in Finland. Less than your people that live in Lati. The people who attended the protest that Finnish Biafrans in Finland called, which I propagated very well, including Adado Ramma and few other people, persons. Your own people that live in Lati, which is a small community, are higher in number than the people who attended the protest. So where are others? And you called yourself a prime minister? That means what Nigeria said you are is true. That's why everybody is running away from you. They don't want to attach themselves to you. That is in the mind of Finnish authority. That is the mind. If I'm the one, that is what I would think. That's exactly what I would feel. These people, these evil people who claim to be freedom fighters, discarded that very protest, completely made their followers not to attend it. And today, this same man that we were all fighting so hard for has been called and they are coming out to address Biafrans. These shameless individuals are coming out to address Biafrans. Themselves CRC. They have no shame. Mama, are you not living in Europe? Where were you when that protest was held? Must I call you on telephone to tell you we are organizing protests for Simon Ekpa, who happened to be your own prime minister? Shame on you, Ifreme Buegi. The day of court, because you people want propaganda. Balogade. Rafael Ajere, do you not live in Europe? You live in Europe. Biafrans organized protests for their own prime minister. You were nowhere to be found. And you call yourself so-called deputy of information. Shame on you, Ifreme Buegi. You should go and hide. You shouldn't be on social media. You should go and hide yourself in shame inside your wife's kitchen. You are evil. All of you should go and start celebrating. Okay, don't you have American passport? Was that the first time of you coming to Finland? Where were you during that protest? Ifele Mebuegi. Ngozora Boeze. Have you not come to Finland before? What did you do? All of you are now jumping out now. You want to come and dress Biafrans. Shame on you. Ifele Mebueo Nuncha. You should go and hide your faces in shame. After sabotaging Simon Ekpa, you people collectively sabotage Simon Ekpa and Joko, and you are coming out to address Biafrans. You don't have shame. You don't have any shame in you, on your face. All of you that claim to be government this, government that, government this, government that, freedom fighter this, freedom fighters that. Ngwana oge erugo na omume. Oge erugo na omume. Oge erugo na omume. Somebody say Biafra Unite, let CRC appeal the Finnish court ruling. Whether be it CRC or whoever, nobody has any right to appeal on behalf of Simon Ekpa. Nobody. No single human being has the legal opportunity or legal right to appeal for our prime minister. He has his lawyer. His lawyer has already indicated interest to appeal the decision. So nobody should come here and tell you that they are appealing for the whatever. If Ogenkere called his group government, if Ogenkere goes there to appeal, Ngozi Arabeze called her own group a government. Ngozi Arabeze group appeal. CRC call themselves government. CRC appeal. So how you people don't even know the mess that these people have put us into. So how many people, how many government do we have now appealing for one man? You people don't know the mess we are in. You don't know. You people are just joking. I see idiots commenting. I see some idiots commenting, calling names, calling me name. I'm sorry for you. Even up till now, Anya get me pebble. Till now, Anya get me pebble. How many government will appeal in the name of Biafra for one man? If I since I saw it come, although I never envisaged imprisonment, I've never envisaged it. What I was even thinking, worse come to worse, they will postpone the judgment. Because I had an idea that even after the last court case where they concluded the case, I had an idea that there was still investigation going on, even till that Monday. I had an idea. So my thought was come to worse, they will postpone the judgment. I never for my life thought about imprisonment. But I saw a foul play from beginning. I saw a foul play. That's why I've been shouting and calling our people. If you know what you can do, do it to Bakotano, come together. Let us do something. At least a heavy protest in Finland would have sent a shocking message to Finnish authority. What to expect if something goes wrong. But lo and behold, everywhere was silent. Unfortunately, this is where we are now. Therefore, Ogenkere, you called yourself a government and your group. Ngwa, oge rugo no mume, nyezi anyị bịa anyị nawa. Ngozi Orabueze, you call yourself a government and your group. Give us Biafra, let us go home. Nyezi anyị Biafra ka anyị nawa. Imama da abụ na group ya. Ọkwụnụ bụ government. Nyezie na Biafra ka anyị naba. I'm not a government. I've never held any position before in the struggle. Not even for one single second. So nyeze na Biafra ka anyị nawazian. Ọkwa unu azọrọ chugos ọchịchị, unu na-achị, unu bụ si gọọmenti. Nyezie na Biafra. Unu aka ya pụtakwa na akọ story na social media. I'm not going, after this broadcast, I'm not going to talk about you people again. You will never hear your name in my mouth again. So nyezie na Biafra ka anyị nawa. Kami antinye isi dị ọ bụ nke unu wetara unu si ama mbata nsogbu adịrọ. Nyezie na Biafra ka anyị na atụgo Simon Ekpa njọkụ nga unless mo nwezi any miracle ya after the appeal or through the appeal. Man, it's now recorded na atụgo ya nga. Wetezielu na Biafra anwa ka anyị nabazia. Oge eruola na orugo na omume. Orugo oge osu ji ewe nni. After today, you will not hear your name in my mouth again. Nyezie na Biafra ka anyị nabazia. Unu aka ya apụtakwa again na akọlụ Biafra si long story ogologo akụkọ na social media. Nke otu unu ji wee bụrụ country. Ọkwa unu nwere amị. Lụzie na ọgụ nwere onwe ka anyị na. It's quite unfortunate. What is going to be the fate of Nnamdi Kanu? That is Chai! Alo Ndigbo. Kita na onye ga-agbaziri nnu, onye ga-abara Nigeria mba. Onye ya abalụ Nigeria mba. Kedu ife anyị eme Nigeria now? Onye ya abalụ Nigeria mba. They have been waiting for this. This is what they have been waiting for. I've warned us several times that Nigeria is waiting for the outcome of Mazi Simon Ekpa's case. That's why they have been postponing the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, especially since the so-called accelerating trial or accelerated trial. So we are going to watch them, the so-called governments, not government, governments. We are going to watch the governments to give us Biafra. Let us watch the governments of Biafra to give us Biafra, because now we have 3 governments. So let us, ifere na nọrọ n'iru ebe unu chọrọ ka m bịa soro unu na-arụ aka n'ike na-esi n'imi, ndị ifere na nọrọ n'iru. Look at Ambazonia. People without shame. Look at Ambazonia. Ambazonia that are supposed to be learning from us. Ambazonia that are supposed to be, we are supposed to be the role model to Ambazonia. Look at where we are. Look at where we find ourselves. Somebody now joking and playing with the Ambazonian Liberation Army under Dr. Chayaba, even though he's inside. Imagine somebody who called him or herself a freedom fighter now playing with the only hope of Ambazonia, the only hope of Biafra, and people are clapping for that person. Somebody joking with the only hope that we have for survival, which is our military, our military, Biafra Liberation Army. Somebody is playing with this army, starving them, denying them funds to conduct their liberation activities. And Ndigbo na kronya waka siaraidon. Somebody abandoned Biafra Liberation Army on Imofia, saying I build to go their own army. Ono na koreaka. Ekenekwa amono. Ekenekwa amono. Jisienu no ike. Obu nezoku no bu ndị Igbo. Jisienu ike. Ekene mo no ofuma. Jisienu no ike. Ono na anwa. You people supporting this evil to abandon the only hope of Ndigbo, even though our PM is being imprisoned, even though Nnamdi Kanu is imprisoned, the only hope of Ndigbo for survival, Onotoaka abandon Hanimoya, like seriously, abandon them in Nimoya. Somebody put that now near build Gaminkia. Abandon zending can him or not through ego. No, Gisienu no ike. Oh, Gisienu ike. Una waka ono bundibo. Una waka no. Gisienu ike. Onya sunu no build gaming here. Abandon ze men na no from the onset, from the time immemorial. Abandon him or ya. Within a twinkling of an eye, Simon Ajuwen Subu, abandon me abandon. Ono na throw on ego. Gisienu ike na to nega na to sinike. Ọkwa di na nwunye anụ nwa Igbo na Fulani chọrọ ịlụ ka anụ kene Igbo anyị nụkere di na nwunye anụ ka anyị mara ebe isi ka anyị mara otu isi ya dị in the next 6 years. Jisienu n'ike na-atụ ịga na-atụsi ike. Na-atụ na ịga. Ọ bụ na inwe ike use your brain. You are waiting for my exposition. Now I will no longer do exposition. No more exposition. A man not for these people from after this broadcast. Mark it somewhere. You will never hear their names in my mouth again. How would I be Biafra? Only I support one, huh? Yeah? Kaimalo kene be isi ganu Igbo in the next 6 years. How did we come here? No wonder Nnamdi Kanu ji wee kwuo si na aha danem called Igbo abụrụ ya ọnụ. N'afọ akpọrọ Igbo na abụrụ ya ọnụ oge o kwuru okwu a many years ago. I didn't understand it. In fact, I was even angry. Because I'm not one of those bu Ibonisi. I am one of those that can die for Igbo. I am one of those that believe that Igbos love themselves. No matter the propaganda of Yoruba media, no matter the social media propaganda, I am one of those hardcore who believes that Ndigbo love themselves. Gana enezianya the way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was sabotaged. Judono n'ime. Mazi Simon Ekpa. Ndigbo liobi de baya masi. All the way na Finland. Ndigbo ibia. Na Mbiazi na na-eche echiche gbasara ya Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kwuru gbasara ha. That name called Ndigbo. Na-abụrụ ya ọnụ. Oweburu eziokwu. With all our blessings, from God, all our endowment from God, yet we allowed ourselves to be what we are called. Mmadụ edeka ife akpọrọ ya akpọgo onye ori ịkalụ neburu onye ori akpọgo sabo. Instead of you to come out and prove that nebo sabo, you say okay, I will be that sabo. Ebro sabo. It's horrible. It's quite unfortunate. I don't know what to do. More borrow our men on him again. More borrow our men on I know no more. We fem patakoeme again. And Jumego struggle in nobody pays me anything. Nobody contribute any money for me. I'm getting nothing from this. I've never gotten anything from the struggle before in my whole life. Since Inji joined I this struggle for one thing, for a penny, I've never gotten from the struggle. A penny. And what about one and go? Nobody pays me. My platform belongs to me. I built it myself. The only money YouTube nakumo, my software gonje something na YouTube platform. I spend my own money and they pay it back to me at the end of the month. It's not a struggle money because platform belongs to me. If I don't want to talk about struggle again, I'll use my platform for something else. Nobody will. I want you to why. As long as the platform belongs to me, I'll use it for something else. No human being can, nobody has the right to ask me why. I will still feed myself. I have my job. More about this man, what is going to be their fate moving forward? What will be their fate? What is their fate? You people listening to me now, Mandikaye Geleta, go and ask yourself before we proceed, before we do anything further, go and ask yourself, what is the way forward? What is the fate? Not even what is the way forward. No. We're supposed to know way forward. But ask yourself, what is going to be the fate of this man in the bush? Not even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because any news Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow, don't be surprised. So long as no, don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. Do not be shocked. The only shocking news you can see when Bunkemelo on Monday. Any other thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so long as don't be shocked. You understand? And the same people that celebrated the news on Monday, even though they did not show it in the public, they celebrated it secretly. The same people will still celebrate whatever that you are going to hear about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu if it's not on our favor. And without this man in the bush, there is absolutely nothing we can do. I'm saying it now in the public. Without this man we have, Nimofia, Anything Nigeria Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there is not, I tell you with all my life, there is nothing Igbo people can do. If we fail to protect these men in the forest, Mazi Funaka Nigeria, nke ọta ga-ata ụkwa egwuregwu ka a na-egwu. Afọ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tago for the past 5 years na bụkwa egwuregwu. Ọ bụkwa na ụna amarụ na amalị ya now. Ma ọ bụ na enwere ife eji protect this men nọ n'ime ọfịa, mee ha kwụrụkwa n'ọkpa ha again. Ife na-agwa gị eziokwu, Chineke makịkwa today's date 7th of September. Ihe Nigeria ya eme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu next month. Anyị ama mpụta ha ekwuwe na social media. But before that time, before that very time, here, if you are here on this broadcast, go and pressurize web, and you are following one of these groups who claim to be government. Go and pressurize them. Go now and pressurize them. Go now and pressurize them. If you are following them, go and pressurize them now. If you know you are genuine in your heart, although you are following cheapishly, you have been misled, and you are following cheapishly, but in your heart you are genuine, and you believe you know what you are doing. You believe you believe in whoever you are following. Go now and pressurize them. That Nigeria need know that before next month. Can you go see her that if anything goes wrong, irrespective of what happened in Finland, if anything goes wrong, that we are here. Now Nigeria kwesịrị know that something next month, before next month. Tupu ọnwa na-agwụ, Nigeria need know that something to show them if anything goes wrong next month in the court, we are here. Irrespective of the judgment in Finland, if anything goes wrong next month, we are here. If they fail to show this to Nigeria, then next month, the fate of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Go and pressurize whoever you are following. But on our government. Now Nigeria kwesịrị know that something now, not tomorrow, now. And if they fail, then Nigeria will assume that they have won. And next month will be a written letter kaya abịagoro on a court. A written letter kaya abịagoro on a court. Unless me go to Nigeria today in Ketankechi, that we are here. We are not dead. We are not gone yet. We are here. If anything happens next month in the court, we are here to do the unthinkable. Mana generation Igbo a wipe gokwa. Even Benue ya aka anyị mma. Ọ bụ na this men nọ n'ime ọfịa na abandon n'ime ọfịa na rie because it's not difficult for them. It's not difficult for them to find their way, at least to be alive. If you learn a money about enwere afọ n'ọkpụchia, enwere afọ n'ọkwanye afọ n'chọ way. Chof African country, many isi, save good life ya, onwe chọrọ enwu. But once that happens, it's over. Ani Igbo ana. Ọ bụkwa na iche na ọ nwere ihe oteke Fulani bata na Ani Igbo tipia Ani Igbo tu ase tipia Benue. You are joking. Soludo and Hope Uzodimma are not stronger than all those governors in Middle Belt. No governor in Igbo land today that is stronger than the former Benue State governor. What's his name? Autumn. No Igbo governor today, be you who, that is stronger than Autumn. Autumn went through in Benue as a governor. Agatu massacre happened, was it not during the time of Autumn, if I'm not mistaken? He was very strong, very vocal, very, very vocal. But look at what happened in Benue. So do not think in any way that Ali Igbo is, somehow, maybe Ali Igbo have a spirit that is chasing Fulani away. No, there's nothing like that. There is absolutely nothing like that. The thing that has kept Fulani out of Ali Igbo completely is because of the armies of Biafra. Only. I said only. Not your governor, not your local government chairman, not Ebubago, because Ebubago is filled with Fulani, not Agune Chemba, not Ndiakodo, not AVG, not your police, not your army. It is strictly the Biafra Liberation Army. And if anything makes them leave, we are doomed. Go and pressure your government. We are going to give them small time to see what they can do. Go and pressure your government. All of you commenting, I see your comment. I'm the one who just decided not to give attention to it. All of you commenting and calling me names. I know be your government too. Your government still have power. They control the finance. Go and tell them that if everywhere remains the way it is, silent, and something untoward happen next month, then you hold them responsible. But don't wait. Go and pressure them. Pressure them. Mount pressure on them. That the time of social media propaganda is over. For now. And I'm going to end this very broadcast. Okunkuru, biko this broadcast, you go back and listen to it again. You go back and listen to it again. So we are going to, of course, just like as I said, I've seen some people saying Biafra Unite, we are looking up to you, we hope in you, this and that. For now, they're going to do no amount of pressure on those people that call themselves government. Go and mount serious pressure on them, because the worst is yet to happen. The worst is yet to happen. But give it time. Go now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Go and mount pressure on them. you fail to mount pressure on them and they fail to do something, they continue with our social media propaganda, the worst is yet to happen. This is going to be my last comment today. The worst is yet to happen. Let us do that one first. Then after opposing and can walk from Ogenadiraanya, we'll look for something else to do. Thank you, my people. From me from here, it is good evening.